Hey, what's up, gang? You guys got a second? You guys got a second to talk about Friday's programming? It's the 16th of February, so more than halfway through the month, but also more than halfway through the cycle. We are still doing dead stop deadlifts today, but now instead of 5 sets of 5 or 5 sets of 4, or the next step in that progression is 5 sets of 3. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. Now, the laws of physics, I keep saying the laws of physics. I don't know the laws of physics, guys, but it sounds good to me. They state, of course, that a set of 3 should be easier than a set of 5, which means that whatever you were able to do in your sets of 5, you should have more capacity when you do sets of 4, and even more capacity in sets of 3. And yet, while that is extremely true when we're touching and going, tapping and going, I believe it becomes less and less true when we're doing these stop and go, right? These dead stop deadlifts. So yes, your sets of 3 should be heavier than your sets of 5. How much heavier is going to be marginal. So give it a shot. It's these sets of 3s and 2s that we're going to do next week certainly lend themselves to more going to failure. In other words, maybe reps 1 and 2 go really well, and then the third one you actually end up finding that you've gone too far. Icarus flew too close to the sun. So that's fine, right? We don't expect to get there in set 1. If anything, we hope if that happens at all, it's only in set 4 or 5. But we're going to find what our upper limits are with these dead stops, and that's fine. Another thing we have today is the WOD. And this is for sure one of those workouts that is super simple on paper. In fact, just super simple in general. But it bears some explanation, and of course this is our cycle where we're intentionally doing what we refer to as grunt work, and today your grunt work is in the form of an overhead carry. Now, it's 6 rounds, 7 deadlifts, 100-meter single arm overhead carry, hopefully with a kettlebell. Why? Because that's a little bit more challenging than a dumbbell. It's a little bit more uncomfortable, and we love that, especially during grunt work cycle. It's kind of like an odd object. It rests very awkwardly on your forearm, and what does that make you do? Like, how do you hold on a little bit longer? How do you exercise your willpower? We're gonna find out. The other part of this workout is the loading on the barbell for these deadlifts. It's important because it should be heavier, significantly heavier, dare I say, than whatever it is that you used in the deadlifts of last Friday's workout. More to the point, we're saying no heavier than 225 for the men and 155 for the ladies, specifically because that is the loading that has come up most frequently in open deadlifts. And just to add on to that, you might go, well, I'm not doing the open, I don't care. But you are, because you're still going to be at the gym on Fridays. You typically come on Fridays, and we're going to do the open workouts on those days, whether you're signed up or not. So not a bad time to just like test where you're at performance-wise when it comes to these deadlifts. So I'm not saying everybody's going to do 225, 155. What I am saying, however, is that we're all going to push the upper limits of our performance deadlifts. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Here's the other part. In tandem, these two things are going to be interesting together. 6 rounds, 7 deadlifts, and then the overhead carry. Because, it's kind of your lats that get used. If you don't think about using lats when you deadlift, but it's what keeps the bar nice and close to you, which is important for deadlifts. So you will be engaging everything you've got, core and otherwise, lats and otherwise, to do the deadlifts, and then you will need those self-same lats in order to sustain an overhead position that is, mechanically advantageous. When I say mechanically advantageous for a single arm overhead carry, what I mean is your arm should be straight and locked out. You should be creating a shelf. Your arms should not be bent, and if your arms are bent, then you are doing it wrong, and you should choose a lower loading that allows for that. Not everyone has that, though. Not everybody has the ability to lock out like that. Some people got some strange arm actions that go on. That's just part of their anatomy, and that's fine, and we'll assess that one by one. But if you are capable of locking out your arm, then you're going to do that today. The other thing about these 100-meter carries is that the expectation is that you split the work between both arms, but that we also don't enforce how you do that. So I did this with 50 meters on the right and then 50 meters on the left, and I just kept going that way, because when we wrote this workout originally, we were like thinking it might be nice enough to go outside, and then snow happened. We were unprepared for that. Ice, the parking lot's probably not a great place to be. It's going to snow again on Saturday apparently, so we're probably going to do this workout inside. So helps us actually to think of it that way, because you can break it down easier, more equally, I guess is the best way to say it, and be sure that you are doing equal work. Am I saying everyone's going to do 5 or 50 meters right, 50 meters left? No, you could do 20, 20, 20, 20, 20 until it's all done, and then start with the other side next time. It doesn't matter. We're not going to enforce how you do it. We're just going to make sure that you do it correctly. And then at the end of the day, you know, you should do something that keeps you moving. Let's put it that way. Do what keeps you moving. All right. Well, again, simple workout to explain and talk about, but it's a little bit more challenging than you expect. We don't have a specific time cap, but this took both Laura and myself somewhere in like right around 12 minutes. So let's say, hopefully let's keep it all under 20. All right, let's do it. Enjoy, guys.